Welcome. I'm your host, Jesse Swear, nationally recognized inclusive fitness trainer, Silver Sneaker Flex instructor. To find out more about me, visit my website, www.jesseswear.com. And today I have another Silver Sneaker yoga class for you. Now, if you've never taken this before, please subscribe or hit the like button or hit the notification button so you get more videos like this. And again, if you've never taken this class, there are videos out there that I've done that walk you through some of these particular exercises or forms or formats that I'm going to be doing with you through this yoga class. Now, this is going to be a nice warm-up yoga class, a lot of different stretches and some forms as well. Now, again, pay attention to rate of perceived exertion, make sure you hydrate, get physician clearance, and enjoy your time with those deep breaths and holding those moves or forms for lengthy periods of time. That is a real goal, to work on your balance, to work on even cardiovascular endurance, to work on functionality. All those things go into place, and then cognitive ability as well. And then having afference as well, which is getting that mind-body connection. So here we go. I'm going to take those hands down to the side. They're going to rest on my thighs. My toes are going to be over knees, knees over hips, hips over shoulders. Tuck the belly, tuck the tailbone. Slight bend in those knees. If you are in the seated position, make sure you sit on the edge of that chair. You're going to be in the same position I am, just in the seated position, but the back is going to be off that exercise chair. And we're going to start with our hands right here on our thighs or our pelvic region or our hips. And we're just going to retract those shoulder blades and lean on back. So side view looks like this. Lean on back. So we're working on really spina recta and thoracic extension while we're retracting those shoulder blades. And I'm just going to hold this position. So you're going to feel your stomach pushing out, right? Because you're going to be more in that anterior pelvic tilt, right? So you're going to be more that squat position, right? Anterior pelvic tilt, push this way, thoracic extension, and relax. You're gonna feel that in your lower lumbar, you're gonna feel that in your mid part of the back, and we're gonna do that again. So I roll my elbows back, I try to squeeze my shoulder blades, and then I'm going to hinge and get a little anterior pelvic tilt as well. So there's my anterior pelvic tilt, thoracic extension, and I'm squeezing as well. And I want to hold this position. It's a tough position to hold, and it's one of the areas that we start lacking as we start getting older or as we start aging. We don't have the ability to have thoracic extension anymore. Nice deep breath. And then stand up nice and tall. And you're going to feel that again in that lower part of that back region. Again, those areas become very weak because they're not utilized anymore, and we sit and do a lot of protraction. So what happens is this area gets tight, this area gets weak, and then we're not able to do thoracic extension. So we want to do that thoracic extension one more time. But for just other learning purposes, I'm going to just put my hands down here in my pocket region. Now I'm just going to roll back, right? So this might be a little easier for some. Again, my head is in neutral, it's looking straight on up, and I'm thoracic extending. So again, I'm trying to squeeze my scapula as I do that, and I'm holding this position. And for some, again, it is going to be very difficult to do this. You're not going to be able to get great thoracic extension. You're not going to be able to get that lower lumbar to get in a curvature position. So I recommend, if you can't do this, nice inhalation, exhalation, exhale, stand on up, is you get like a Swedish ball, you get some form of ball, and you work on that thoracic extension on some object so that you can work on that bend or that round of the back. We don't want to round forward, we want to be able to round backwards. We want to be able to press and compress that spine. Arms down to the side now, and I'm just going to circle, right? Little pendulums, little circles. Excellent work, excellent job. And then go the other direction. There you go. Good work. Going to go into a lateral flexion on this one. 3, 2, and 1. Right hand goes up, left hand goes here, and exhale here. Hold. Looking good. Excellent job. Hold. Nice inhale, exhale. And exhale. Right hand goes here. Nice inhale here. Exhale. Hold this position. Keep holding. Keep holding. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Both hands right here. Excellent job. And now I'm going to work on the cat and the cow. So slide those arms down. Hold this position. Side view looks like this. Head above heart. Nice inhale here. Round that back. Try to keep the head above the heart. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Turn back to the front. Arm circle again. There you go. Reverse it. And then I'm going to curl it up. I'm going to turn to my right. Hold that position. You can drop those hands down and try to turn more. Nice inhale, exhale. This hand, left hand, will be on that hip. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Drop them down. Turn a little bit more like you're grabbing something and pulling yourself around. Toes are going to be pointing forward. Body's going to be pointing forward. You're just rotating at the thoracic spine. Hips should be still pointing forward. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Again, the key of that is not to turn the feet at all. You're just torso, thoracic spine, right? Trying to keep those hips as front as possible, right? So you're not trying to turn them, right? So let's take these hands here, drive them down to the side, and stay forward. So even if I turn my head, I'm staying forward. This right hand's going to be right here. Left hand's going to be pushed back. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. So right hand goes down, left hand goes right here. Right hand's pushed back. Turn the body. Hips forward. So again, you're just getting thoracic rotation and holding. Now this really works on your diaphragm as well, and it can take the breath away, as it did for me there, right there. Awesome job. Good job. Next ones are going to just go straight on up with those hands, right? Almost the moonflower position, and then I'm just going to take those back and get thoracic extension as I take my arms way back. Again, putting pressure on that diaphragm. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. One more inhale. And nice exhale. Taking that left hand, I'm going to take it behind my back. And I'm going to put it right like this. And I'm just going to hold this position. Good. And I'm going to take that right hand up. Just like that. And hold. And now I'm going to push my hand into my spine and pull the elbow back towards that window behind me. So I'm putting the compression here on the glenohumeral joint. Hold there. Excellent job. Lower this hand down, slide this hand out and to the front. Take this hand and behind, press into that lower lumbar and pull the shoulder back. Right here. Nice and high. Again, just holding this position. Excellent job. So lots of stretches, lots of warm-ups, and we're throwing some forms and formats in of the yoga as well. Drop it down, slide to the front. Excellent job. Nice inhale here, and then nice exhale back as we go into the airplane. Right leg's going back. We got Kia running around. She's not an airplane, she's more like a tornado. And I'm going to hold this position. Nice inhale, exhale. Nice inhale. Nice exhale as I take my left foot back. And I hold. So now I'm just on the balls of the feet there. Bending at the metatarsals and holding this position. Nice, good balance. Looking straight at you. Nice inhale. And I will turn this time to my right, and I'm going to take my left leg back so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Nice, good, solid balance. Hold this position. Excellent job. Excellent work. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Back to center. Turn. Nice inhale. Nice exhale. Take the right leg back, and that left knee bends just a little bit, getting a little bit of that flexion. Good job. Hold tight. Awesome work. You know, yoga is really meant, or in particular for me, just to be able to work on that balance, to work on good posture, to work on good health of the joints, holding those positions, or even working on knee health. Right? For this next exercise, I'm just going to walk backwards, and I'm just going to work on bending the knee over the toe. Right? Because I want to have good knee health. So I'm going to turn again, and I'm just going to walk back, and I'm working on bending those knees over the toes and holding those positions. Because knee health is really important as we age. So in the yoga, right, although this is not maybe a traditional yoga stance, it is great for the knees. Bend, walk back. And typically what happens as we age, we have to walk down the steps because we have bad knees. So this is the best way to try to recoup some of that movement, is walking backwards. And I'm going to walk backwards one more time, and then I'm going to transition. So if you're watching this at home, you're taking part with me, another great exercise for you to do is walk backwards. And now let's finish up with a wave hands like clouds, right? So I'm going to take this left one out like this. Right one's coming down here around my waist, and then I'm going to just loop that same motion. Just like this. And then I'm going to go into syncing with chi. And all I'm doing is just looping these through. And now if I want to make a more traditional Tai Chi, again, you're working on balance, and I'm just shifting. So you see how I shift my weight? I'm just shifting my weight. Excellent job. Bring them both back in. Nice inhale. Get to your T, and then I like to think of this as lifting all my worries up. and releasing them. So you're coming up, and then you're going to bring and bend those elbows at shoulder height, push those hands in towards you, and just releasing all those worries. Working on your core, working on your breath, working on your balance, working on your afferents, and working on your peace. Release it. My time's up. Another yoga for you. Peace, my friends. Subscribe and hit the notification button.